Alright, this is a little demo video for Introduction to Flash. It's right here, so I'll kind of try to cruise through this and save some time so you don't have to watch this whole thing. But this is going to introduce you to Flash and how to use like layers, keyframes, regular frames. Here's what it should look like. It's a tic-tac-toe game, okay, where the game just gets drawn, the grid gets drawn, then you have X's and O's, and it plays through the entire game, and at the end it draws a line through the winner right here, and then a sound plays. Okay, not sure if you could hear the sound in this recording or not, but if you watch on my website, you'll see the whole thing, and then it repeats. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is download all these files that go with it, the X, the O, and so on. Okay, and the song and the paper. So if you right click and go to save link as, you'll be able to save it in your folder. Okay, I already downloaded these files just to save some time. Okay, so here's my folder right through here with all the files. Next, let's open up Flash. You can go down here and you can just type Flash and find it. I already opened it up. This is what it looks like when you start, and you want to choose ActionScript 3.0. Okay, this is like your canvas. This is your timeline basically. Right now 24 frames per second. So if we had 24 frames, this little movie is going to be 1 second long. So you can think of this like a movie, okay? And you're gonna have different layers of different things as we go on here. So what I would do is probably set this up first as 600 by 600. Okay, if you need to zoom out a little bit to see it all, you can. Let's just do that for now. Okay, then I want to bring in all my resources. So if I go to File, Import to Library, I go find those resources that I already saved. Okay, the X, the O, and all that stuff. So I go check that out. Flash demo, all three of these. Okay. Oh, I didn't have library showing, so there's my library now. I was on properties instead. Okay, so there's those 4 files. Now I want to drag this out here. Okay, the paper. And remember, it was 600 by 600, so I go back to properties, and this is huge. So what I want to do is shrink this size down like a lot. Looks good. I don't know why it's... Oh, I bet you I know why. I did the wrong one, that's why. So, okay, and somehow it went somewhere weird because I shrunk it down, so now I gotta find it. There it is. And I'm sure there's shortcuts to do this stuff. I'm just not super awesome at Flash, so do this. Line it up good, and you should be set to go. Okay, I select it and I use the arrow keys on the keyboard to kind of move it around a little bit because it moves in really small increments, and that's helpful to me. Okay, next I need to set up my grid, and I don't want to just wing it here. I want this to look really nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up some guides. First we have to show the guides, so go to View and click Rulers. And now this is 600 wide, and I want to make a tic-tac-toe like structure so I can draw stuff. So the way rulers work, it's the same in Photoshop, is you click here and drag out as a guide. Now this is invisible if we want it to be, so I drag to 200, then 400, because if I divide 600 in thirds, you get 200. Same way this way, 200, and now 400. And that's why I use the size of 600, so I could make equal sizes. Okay, so this really isn't there. These are just guides, and I can show you by turning off my rulers. I guess they still show. I think it's extras or something like that. I'm not really concerned about that right now, because if I would, I'll show you. I'll preview this. I'll try to anyway. And the rulers aren't showing up. Okay, so now I'm going to draw. Let's call this layer background. And that's going to be your bottommost layer always. Okay, now I'm going to draw the first line. Okay, So I have to do a new frame, or I mean a new layer. Okay, and this will work better for you if you keep things really organized and label things and stuff like that. So when I have this frame selected, I want to click on my tools over here, and your tools might be in a different place, but mine are over here. I click on my line tool. Right now it's super thin. Okay, I don't want it that thin. So I'm going to say a size of 5, and I'm pretty sure it's pixels. If you want different colors, fine, great, do that. I'm boring, so I'm going to keep mine black. Okay, so I'm going to draw, let's confirm that, a tiny part of a line up here, and I don't care if it's off of the off of my project because it's not going to show up. Okay, then I decide how long I want this to draw for. So if I would make it 100 frames, that would be like a 4-second line being drawn. I think that's kind of slow, so I'm going to say 30 frames, like a second and a half. Okay, so I select that frame. Then at the top of the keyboard, there's a key that says F6. I want to press that key. That means it's a new keyframe. Why isn't it working? Okay, it's always worked before. I don't know why it's not working right now. I'll just do it this way. Okay. Okay, F6, and it's okay that your rest of your stuff disappears. Okay. I know what I did wrong. Okay, yeah, let's do that again. Huh. All right. Okay, then you're going to draw the rest of your line. Okay, and still doesn't look good, but then now I'm going to do, I want this to go gradually, because right now if I draw this, it's going to jump and the whole line will be done. It starts, it'll jump, when done. We want it to gradually draw. So I'm going to right click anywhere inside of here and go to Create Shape Tween. Okay, now when I play it, there's my project. Okay, and my background's gone because the only frame I told my background to be there on was frame 1. So what I need to do is I go down to frame 30 and I press F5, and this will catch my background up to the most recent layers. You can do that way at the end if you want, or you can do it as you're going along. It really doesn't matter. And now if we look at our project, there's my line. Okay, and it's repeating, that's why it's looking like this. Okay, let's do the next line, and then I'm going to take a quick break and complete some of this stuff. Okay, I'm going to do a new keyframe right here. Hopefully it works this time. Nope, I don't know why it's not working. So I'm right clicking and doing insert keyframe this way. It's weird, but next line. And then do another 30. And I finish my line. And do the shape tween. Just so you can see what's going to look like here before I take a quick break. There's what I got so far. And then it's going to repeat. Okay, so I'm going to finish this up and then I'll move on and show you the X's and the O's. Alright, so I finished my lines up, and if we check this out here now, here's what my project looks like so far. All my lines get drawn, and they all stay there, and then it repeats. Okay, so now I'm ready for my X's and my O's. So I make a new layer. I think they can all go in one layer, so I'm just going to call it XO. Okay, and then do a new keyframe. I figured out why I couldn't do F6 is because this screen recording software just is like disallowing that. So new keyframe, and I don't really care which one's first. Let's start with the X. Okay, should be a good size. And then we move down, and let's say I'm at 120 roughly. Let's do let's do 15 seconds apiece. So now, new keyframe. And let's do an O. Okay, there's no tweening or anything like this, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. 50. And another X. Kind of plan out what you're doing here. Okay. Oops, I did two in the same one. My bad. Okay, and I'll play it just so you guys can see it. Okay. XOX. Okay, so that's good. Let me finish this up quick, and I'll take another quick break just to save some time on this video. Alright, so I have all my X's and O's done, and I also drew the winning line, like, you know, because if you play tic-tac-toe, there's usually draw a line through to win. So I did all that. I'm not going to show that because I already showed how to do lines, so let's check this out so far, I think. Alright, so we got our lines, and they stay there the entire time. The X, O, X, O, X, O, and then it restarts. Okay, the last thing you want to do is add a sound, okay, and that's to like show that you're winning. Okay, this is victory sound right here. So I'm going to do a new layer, sound, okay, and I'm going to go to the end of my time so far. Everything should be lined up nice too. And I'm going to do a new keyframe, and I don't know how long this sound's going to last. I want to make sure I have enough room for it. I might be able to just put it in, but I want to make sure it's right. So I'm just going to go out and put something out there. I'll go to 400. Do another new keyframe. Okay. And now I go back to this keyframe, and I drag my sound out into my project. Okay. And we can see down here, you can see the sound waves, so I know my sound's going to work. Okay, and when I play it, I do this, and I don't know if you guys, since I'm recording here, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear the sound. We'll see. I'll put it next to the speaker so you can hear. Okay, and then there's the end, and then it starts over again. It should, maybe it doesn't. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now I'm pretty much done. I'm just going to clean this up. Okay, so I'm going to, and I guess this is fine. I'm just going to go through here and I'm press F5, 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 F5. I can't do it because my screen recording software is like bugging me with it, so I'm going to just do it manually. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I think it would have worked fine, but frame, insert frame. Okay, and now I'm pretty much done. Let's watch it through one more time. Okay, looks good. That's done. One last step. I'm pressing Control Enter to preview that, and it automatically creates this file here. I don't know where it's getting created right now, but it's a good time to talk about this. Flash demo. Okay. Here's that project I just saved. This is not a good file. This is a good working file, but to finish this up, when I press Control Enter, it should create this file called .swf. Okay, let's go back and look at that folder real quick. Okay, That's called a shockwave file, and this is a real important file because this is what's going to go on the web, and I don't have to even have Flash open to be able to play this file. I can just open it and it just plays it in its own thing in its Flash player. So that's an important file, so you should do that when you're done at the end. So that is it.